In the world of K-pop, there are names that are more than just artists. They are symbols, legends, and an indispensable part of the history of South Korean popular culture. One of them is Jungkook, the golden magne of the global group BTS. However, while the public thought Jungkook was taking a break from the spotlight after his return from the United States, the reality was far more shocking, touching, and provoked a huge question mark from both the army and the entertainment media. Jungkook did not return home immediately. He did not go to his luxurious apartment. He did not immediately return to the South Korean celebrity routine. No. Instead, he went straight to a place that not many people expected. A place where Suga, a member of BTS who is known to be calm, cold, and full of mystery, is in isolation. This surprise started from a series of blurred portraits that went viral on the forums of the fan community. In the picture, a man in a black hat, wearing a mask and a long jacket, walks quickly out of Incheon Airport. Although many tried to deny, his gait and posture could not fool anyone who knew him. It was Jungkook. Not a single journalist was informed earlier. No fancy pickup from HYB. There is no iconic black van that usually drives the big stars. Only one ordinary car, dark, stopped outside the terminal and took Jungkook away in an unknown direction. But just a few hours later, everything changed. A photo posted by a local resident in Gyeonggi-do's Gunpo neighborhood shows two familiar-looking men in a small, quiet tavern on a street corner. One of them looks like Suga, and the other man, although with a simple and closed appearance, is none other than Jungkook. The public reaction exploded. Media headlines such as "What are Jungkook and Suga doing in this place?" until the big secret behind the meeting of two BTS members after returning from America began to flood news portals. Even more surprising, the location is not just any place. It is believed to be the old studio Suga used for his solo projects in the past, a place that holds memories, wounds, and mysteries from his journey as a musician. What made Jungkook go there? What was he looking for from Suga when everyone thought he would prioritize family, home, and rest? What are they talking about? Is this about BTS's comeback? Or is there a much deeper personal problem? This news shook not only the fans, but also the entertainment industry. Many are wondering, is this some kind of signal that something is happening inside BTS? Or is it a form of solidarity, solace, or even the first step in something much bigger than just a reunion? A source from within the industry who did not want to be named revealed that the relationship between Jungkook and Suga has recently become closer than ever. Despite being known as two very different characters, Jungkook is energetic and youthful, while Suga tends to be quiet and mysterious. There seems to be a deep emotional bond growing between them, especially after the tough phases they faced as BTS members, including the military service, the pressures of the industry, and the personal despair they experienced behind the scenes. Jungkook brought home more than just suitcases from America, the source said. It brings big decisions. Something that should be discussed directly with Suga. Something that cannot be entrusted to the phone or a message. What's the verdict? A clue appeared from one of the staff at the tavern where they met. He said that the two artists spoke seriously for almost 2 hours, with tense and sometimes emotional expressions. In fact, at certain moments, their voices rise. No smiles, no laughter as usual. Only two men seem to be putting together or disassembling something really important. If I may be honest, said the staffer, they seem to be deciding the fate of something. Not a small project, but something that will affect a lot of people. Speculation immediately sprang up. Are Jungkook and Suga at odds over BTS's future? Or is it that they are preparing a joint project that will drastically change the direction of their careers? Or more than that, are they looking for an escape from the pressures of HYB, from public expectations, or from a past that continues to cast a shadow over them? Not a few netizens argue that Jungkook's sudden return from the United States is not without reason. A few days before that, Jungkook was scheduled to attend several meetings with well-known music producers and major labels in America. But the events were canceled suddenly for no apparent reason. This gave rise to the theory that there were major personal incidents or decisions that made him re-elect more quickly. There are also rumors that Jungkook brought bad news from America, maybe about the contract. Maybe about him getting an exclusive solo offer that could potentially break up BTS's formation. And Suga, as one of the oldest members as well as a figure who was always rational, became the first person Jungkook wanted to talk to. Is that so? One of BTS' longtime fans, who has been following them since the HYYH era, wrote something very touching and viral on social media. Jungkook is not looking for a stage, he is looking for understanding. He did not return for cheers, but for hugs, maybe not physical, but hugs in the form of understanding. And he knows the only person who can give him that is Jung Hyun. The statement illustrates the unusual dynamic between the two BTS members. Suga, who often avoids the spotlight, instead becomes a place for Jungkook to return. It's as if, in a world of spotlight, Suga is the only quiet and safe space for Jungkook to speak the truth. It's not just about music. It's about living, about the wound, about the future they do not know whether to stay together or not. HYB herself has not yet given an official statement on this meeting. They only mentioned that the personal activities of the artists are not within the authority of the company to be shared with the public. A neutral statement that actually provokes more speculation. However, one thing is certain, this meeting was not just a gathering. The next day, Suga uploaded a black and white picture on his social media account. The image shows two empty coffee cups on a wooden table, with a simple caption, "There is something inexplicable, but it can be felt." The army immediately linked this to their meeting. Some even cried reading the caption, feeling that there was a depth of emotion they had never seen before. And that night, Jungkook posted an Insta story that instantly disappeared after 24 hours. A portrait of a dark night sky, with just one sentence, "Sometimes I don't go home." But to someone, suddenly, the virtual world exploded. Is this a signal that both are saving something? Is this a form of emotional support? Or more than that, a form of loyalty that no longer relies on the BTS name, but on brotherhood outside the industry? This article will continue to be updated as the news develops. Whatever happened that night, Jungkook and Suga showed the world that there is something bigger than fame, deeper than music, and more meaningful than a comeback, that human connection, honesty, and the courage to rediscover each other. Even in the silence of an old tavern in a corner of the city not on the tourist map, that night the sky in Gunpo was washed by light rain. The light of street lamps refracts over puddles, forming shadows that merge with the night. In a quiet little corner, only the silhouettes of two figures sitting opposite each other were visible. One of them lowered his head, while the other grasped the cup with a slightly trembling hand. Fan cameras didn't capture their voices, but the image was enough to make the hearts of millions of ARMY feel squeezed. An unusual meeting. Not under the spotlight of the stage, not among the cheers of fans, but in the dense silence, where every word may be heavier than the burden of popularity that they have carried over the years. Time seemed to stop. And in that silence, netizens began to put together pieces of the puzzle. What really happened behind this sudden meeting? Why didn't Jungkook choose Jin or RM or Jimin as his main destination when he returned home? Why not family? Why Suga? Some fans who have followed BTS's journey since the debut era remember one moment that now seems to be a sign.